so the head balances on top of the spine, and we know that. But one of the interesting things is about the head is that it's front weighted. The weight is at the front. The face is heavier than the back. So instead of it just being like a ball on a pole, it's like a ball with the pole sort of towards the back of it, if that makes sense. And so we've got all of this clever musculature, connective tissue that straps onto the back of our head, which literally sort of keeps our head from falling forwards. But what happens is we get a bit tight around here. And so in the Alexander technique and, in many different practices, we encourage the releasing of the base of the skull and the big muscles down the neck so that we have this pivotal balance available to us at any point, so that when we lean forwards, the head can readjust itself. If we go to the side, the head can readjust itself. So the head is always needing to be in balance with the rest of the body, using things like the pelvis and the ground as a cantilever. When we go to look up or put something up on a shelf, get something off a shelf, or go into, a big old back bend or something like that, as the weight of the head comes up, as that chin comes up, the weight of the head shifts, and more frequently than not, parts of the body go into panic. There'll be perhaps some gripping in the legs and the lower back. There might be a sort of locking down through the rib cage, because the body is thinking, oh shit, where's the head going? This is all really unsafe. I better hang on. So if we can, what we're going to look at today is just being more conscious of not going into panic with the body, but allowing us to find a stabilized length through the front of the body, so that as we do look up or reach up for something, the body doesn't, grip and tighten in response to that. Okay, good. So just know that it's there to begin with. Just sort of say, oh yeah, hello, there we go, and let your arms drop by your sides. So we're just gonna know where we're going, but we're not there yet. Have your legs straight for the moment, obviously not locked in the knees, but just straight. So let's find a little bit of poise, a little bit of balance, a little bit of up. So let's actually we haven't paid much attention to the pelvis today, and it will probably help. So let's just map in our minds that nice bowl shape of the pelvis. So there it is, wrapping around from the back wings, coming around the front to the pubic bone. And of course, the pubic bone wants to be thinking of releasing forwards and up as well to create that depth. But that's sort of, in the back of our mind. See if you can, in this standing position, do less in your legs. So whether that's a lengthening calf or a softening front of knee and thigh, can the knees ungrip a moment or two? And remind your feet that they are so important for this. So then we're going to go back up to the top of ourselves, because we really want to organize that head, neck, back relationship. And we're going to soften the tongue, release the jaw. Know that the head is directing forwards on the spine. That the neck drops back and widens. The breastbone releases forwards and up, and the lower back ribs drop back and widen. The whole of your back is widening. That lovely big elastic sheet of connective tissue that is your rectangular back is all there supporting you. And again, if you're me, just let those shoulders rest on the ribs. So we're going to take the knees into us and the ankles and everything into a tiny bit of flex. It's absolutely minuscule. And all it means is that you've got a little bit more availability for sway. If you need to bend and flex the knees, hips and ankles, you can. We're then going to place our fingertips on that support. And as you do so, you can release your shoulder girdle. It's sort of, that's okay, shoulders, we've got something here. And at that point, you're probably already feeling the front of the body wanting to move forwards and up. And you're going to keep looking down your nose, and you're going to keep your head forwards and up. So we're going to let the back bendy bit happen first before you let the head go. So direct your breastbone forwards and up. And you can let the tailbone go, and that lumbosacral joint we were talking about, because all we're doing at the moment is going forwards and up through the breastbone. Find a way of letting go more in the legs. And then when you feel you'd like to, you can add that head, and the chin goes up, and you're thinking the head forwards, so that you're no longer crushing the back of your, because we're going to turn ourselves into, so we've been the backwards four-footed creature, and now we're just going to do a lovely little and all we do is have, again, I'm going for the fairly wide feet, and my toes are pointing outwards, so I'm kind of letting the knees sort of fall open, and we just drop down until your hands reach whatever you're on, doesn't matter what. And the point is that it's a very simple, very similar to being on all fours. You're letting your limbs support your back. So you're again saying to the legs to undo, but this time you're letting them feed into your pelvis. You're saying, oh yeah, there's my legs, and they're feeding up and into my pelvis. That's lovely. You can take your weight back onto your legs once you've organized them, so that you can release your shoulders, soften the elbows, maybe even bend, you know, go a bit lower, come a bit higher. Then take the weight onto your arms a bit, so you can release and undo the legs. And then you might want to then just find your balance between the two. So you're even weighted. So in this position, we're still thinking of the neck releasing back and widening, the breastbone releasing forwards to the floor, the lower back ribs releasing back and widening, the pubic bone releasing to the floor. You can also let your shin bones sort of relax towards the floor, and the sit bones direct up to the ceiling. To come out of it, you want to be bringing your weight back over your legs. Keep the knees going forwards and unpeel. What I find in that position, in that little process, is it gives me a sense of integration again. So that if something has sneakily got a bit disjointed, or I've got a bit busy in one of my limbs, doing that little process really sort of integrates me back into myself again.